When they're used well, presentation aids can be very effective ways of communicating. They add style and functionality to our speeches and do things that we might not be able to do so well just by using words. But to make sure that we're using them well, there are some questions that we can ask ourselves about our choice of visual aids. The first question to ask is, what are the speech's most important ideas? The reason we ask this question is because presentation aids can make ideas very memorable. They help the audience remember key things. So if we know what our most important ideas are and we put those in our presentation aids, there's a higher likelihood that our audience is going to remember those ideas. Another question to ask is, what parts of the speech are easier to explain visually? There may be a very complex idea that we could spend a whole lot of time talking about and not really help the audience comprehend very well, but that we could have used a visual representation of that cut through all the challenge of trying to talk about this idea and gives it all in one image that the audience can understand easily. One other thing that we need to keep in mind is that we need to be able to limit the number of presentation aids that we use and the amount of time that they take up in our speeches. We want to keep the focus on our message. So presentation aids can supplement what we're saying, and in some cases they do a better job of communicating it, but we don't want to make the speech all about our presentation aids. We want to focus it in on our ideas and our ability to communicate those ideas. And then finally, we need to consider the audience when we're choosing the size. Obviously, if we're speaking in a very large setting, we've got to have something that is a large item or something that we can project on a screen so that everybody, as far back as the place goes, can see that and can make sense of what we're trying to communicate with this presentation aid.